Tight hamstrings are really a quite common issue, no matter what kind of sport you do and are involved in. Whether you're running, whether you're a strength training athlete, whether you're doing yoga, Pilates, whatever it may be. And just our daily lifestyle, sitting quite a bit, doesn't help the hamstrings at all. So I'm going to take you through this nice quick routine that I like to do pretty much every day to release any kind of strain from the hamstrings. You might know a foam roller, so I'm going to use a foam roller. It doesn't need to be the specific one, any cheap foam roller we do. And what you need as well is a trigger point release ball. Now this is a specific one, again, you don't need to have that. A tennis ball will do just fine, and I suggest wrapping it up with tape so that it gets a little bit more tension and is a little bit harder and not as flexible if you're using a tennis ball. Okay, now you will be surprised, we're actually going to start with the feet. Why do we do that? Because everything in the body is related. Okay, so having tight hamstrings is also going to go down. It's also going to radiate up into the back. So we're really going to take care of that whole posterior chain of the whole back side of the body. Before we do, I want you to do a quick little pre-test just for you to feel how you are. So take the ball away, and I just want you to stand in any comfortable position. Your feet can be hip width, shoulder width, whatever comes to you naturally. And from here, I just want you to roll down. I haven't warmed up, so this is me not having done anything. And you'll see I'm actually quite stiff in the hamstrings as well. So you can keep the knees soft and just slowly roll all the way down. And just see how that feels. Take a few deep breaths. So this is where you are right now. And we're going to slowly come up. Just want you to do that to see which of the exercises we're doing actually makes the biggest impact for you. Now, you're going to have the ball. And you're going to place the foot on top of it. And you're just going to roll through the sole of the foot. So I want you to really feel where there's any tightness, any tension. And wherever you feel that tightness and tension, that's where you're going to stay a little bit longer. So generally with foam rolling and trigger point release, it hurts. We're saying 30 to 60 seconds per area. Now it depends where you have the most tightness. See, I really didn't warm up or do anything of that before filming this video today. So yeah, we're not really giving the feet lots of love most of the time, and this is not what happens. All right, so you're gonna go here. Okay, now once you're starting to feel a little bit of a release, which I'm getting round about now, you can move on, and you're gonna go to the ball of the foot and just underneath the toes. Okay, so you're gonna go a little bit higher, and you're gonna work your way around here. Now this, I'm not really getting too much tension. So I'm going to move on to the next point. We're going to go just to the base of the heel. Oh yes. And that's where I'm feeling a bit more tension again. And then gently over the heel as well. So again, feel free to spend a little bit more time wherever you need it the most. So I'm coming back to the center because that was really quite painful. And then I'm moving on to the other side, and we're just going through that same little routine. So center of the foot. And you might find that one side is much worse than the other, which is perfectly normal as well to have that. Or you might find that different areas are harder or easier on each foot. Ooh. Okay, so again, you're just going to play around with it. You have to feel what really hurts, where your body needs the most attention and care, because this is what it's all about. Again, you know, your feet are carrying you around all day long, and when do you ever do something for your feet? You might be getting a foot massage once in a while, but really not much compared to the amount of work that your feet are actually doing. Okay, now moment of truth. Once you feel you've done enough on the feet, you're just going to come back into your standing position. I'm going to do the same that we did in our pre-test. So we're slowly going to roll down. Wow, okay, so this one makes a huge difference for me today, which I probably guessed just from the amount of pain I was having. As I was going through, I can still feel my feet throbbing, so I'm going to do a little bit more of it after. I've done this video for you guys. Okay, we're gonna move on to the calves. Now, I like to do the calves with the ball as well, just because you can really get into areas that are hurting. So you just have to play around with it a little bit more than you would have to do on the foam roller. By the way, even when you're using the foam roller, I do recommend that you always really move through. Now, with the foam roller, you could put one leg on top to make sure you have your full weight on the other leg. That's on the foam roller. With the ball, I don't recommend that because it is so small, so you don't want to be too harsh here on the tissue. So you're just going to move all the way. So give some love here to the Achilles tendon, the area around the Achilles tendon. So don't just stick to one specific area, really exploring what hurts here. I do have a little knot right in the center of my calf. Good, and then you're gonna move on to the other side. I'm going a bit faster here, so I would normally take a little bit more time, so feel free to do that for yourself. Pause the video, you know, just really take your time. Again, one side might feel completely different to the other. So here my right leg is actually pretty good compared to the left. Good, and then we're gonna do our little test again. So we're really just going segment by segment, and then we're testing after to see what makes the most impact. Note, I haven't gone near the hamstrings just yet. So we're rolling back down. Whee! Okay, now that feels really good for me. So I'm already much lower here in my forward fold than I was in the beginning. I really promise I haven't changed anything. I haven't warmed up before. I didn't fake that first roll down, and I'm sure you are experiencing the same benefit already as you're going through with me. If you're not, don't worry. Now we're actually going into the hamstring. So now here you need a foam roller. The ball is just too small. Unless you have a bigger trigger ball, then you can actually work with that. So now here you're seeing I'm crossing my leg over because I want to really get into that area. Now, a lot of people are rolling their hamstrings quite frequently, but they're not seeing any results. And for me personally, my hamstrings are never hurting when I foam roll, but you can tell like my feet, my calves, super tight. So also with the hamstrings, you want to be mindful that you want to go a little bit onto the side. Now, I've gone away from rolling the IT band. You might have heard of that. So the IT band is a ligament that goes from the knee to the hip. It tends to get super tight. As you're super tight, it is important to take care of your IT band, but I much rather stretch it than disturbing it too much with foam rolling, just because it is a small ligament. It's long, but it's small. And yeah, you don't really want to bother it too much, because especially when there's already a lot of tension on it, you don't just want to go into it and really disturb it quite a bit. So just staying on the fleshy part of the hamstring, but still moving from side to side. And then you're gonna go back into your little test. Now, of course, for some of you, the actual foam rolling of the hamstring might have made the biggest impact. For me, it still does make a little bit of an impact, but it might also be that every time I'm coming back into that forward fold, I'm just feeling a little bit more comfortable. Now, we're gonna go in the glutes. You can do the glutes with the foam roller, but I'm gonna show you a way to do it with a ball. You're gonna take the ball, you're gonna find that spot in your bum that hurts, and you're gonna keep it there. You're gonna lean against the wall, and you're gonna shimmy along. You're gonna shimmy along here a little bit, and really try to get into that tight area of the glutes. Feel free to change the position up a little bit if it's not exactly the right one. Just gonna move across here. Good. And again, I'm gonna shorten it a little bit. Feel free to spend a little bit more time here. Now, this tends to be super tight for a lot of people. And just again, really working with where you're feeling most of the pain. Okay, so unfortunately with foam rolling, And trigger point release, that's what you want to do. You want to go where it hurts. Don't waste your time where it's all comfortable and it's just feeling nice. I mean, you can do that if you have the time, but if you don't have the time, don't waste your time. Just go straight to the spot. All right. And time for a recheck. Woo. Nice and comfy. Okay, that feels good. So I think by now I'm personally as low as I'm gonna get with my forward fold. If that's the case for you, just keep on going along. If it's not, don't worry, I have a few more. So now we're gonna go into the back. I don't like foam rolling the back too much, just because, you know, you wanna get into the two areas on the side, so I prefer to use the ball. If you have two, great, you can actually use two at the same time. I just have one. So make sure that you never go directly on the spine. You want to be on the muscle next to it. I'm having a quite sore tender area right here. So again, I'm just going to use the wall and I'm just going to move my way up and down here along the wall. You're getting a bit of a leg workout as well as you're doing that. I'm getting nice and warm here just because it is really, really painful. Yeah, so that was my tight spot for the day. I'm gonna stay here for a while, sorry. You can just move on to the other side. I'm here. This is where pain feels good, you know. Oh, okay, I'm gonna move on to the other side. Okay. Well, I'm coming to the end of my workout, so after you've done this, again, you can do your test. As I said, I'm just gonna stay here because this is what my body reads right now. So I hope you enjoyed this quick workout on how to release your tight hamstrings and other area of the posterior chain. Please subscribe, like, share, and I'll see you soon.